both of us set out and very adamantly not to push any message on people with messages because we want people to have fun. That's first and foremost. Laugh, just enjoy the ride. If you get something out of it, if you find something within it that moves you, then wonderful. That's great.
Hello! Oh my God!
Crew, we've arrived. Disruptors have assembled.
Hi, Rian. How are you?
Hi, Greta. I'm good.
So, first of all, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for this movie. I really enjoy it. I think it's funny and entertaining, and it's great, but it also has a lot of layers. And one of those came from something that Benoit Blanc says to Birdie, and it's like something like, there's a huge difference between speaking without thought and speaking the truth. And considering the times we're living with, political correctness, the cancel culture, freedom of speech, and all that kind of things, it seems that that difference is more blurred than ever. And I think it's one of the most interesting aspects in this movie. So I would like to know, what do you think about that aspect in the movie?
Yeah, that was the entire thing is kind of about, these movies are kind of made to engage with the present moment. And for me, with this film in particular, it's exactly about that. And it's about lies, and it's about lies that are supported because of self-interest. And it's about a lot of things. But, that when I grew up loving murder mysteries, all of them that I grew up loving, they were period pieces set in England in the past. And a big part of how I decided to make these movies was thinking that Agatha Christie, when she was writing, was not writing period pieces. She was writing to her moment. And so allowing myself to say, okay, we're going to talk about what everyone's talking about right now. And all the things that you just said, let's engage with those. Let's talk about that. And let's have characters that are YouTube influencers. Let's have a tech billionaire at the center of it. Let's have all of these things that are right here and right now, sometimes painfully so. And the character of Birdie, who likes to think of herself as sort of I tell it the way it is, and all these politically correct people can't handle it, and when the reality is she's talking crap and using that as an excuse to shield herself. So it's stuff like that, which is stuff that we're all experiencing right now. That's the sort of thing I wanted to put into the movie.
First, thank you for noticing all of those things, and I do think they're all there, and that's part of the genius of Ryan's writing. But both of us set out and very adamantly not to push any message on people with messages because we want people to have fun. That's first and foremost. Laugh, just enjoy the ride. If you get something out of it, if you find something within it that moves you, then wonderful. That's great. And hopefully you'll go away and talk with your friends, and it'll raise it. All great art raises a discussion, and hopefully this is no different. And it'll have people debating things. Ryan has. He talks about Agatha Christie a lot, and clearly it's a great influence on him. She wrote at the time about modern life. She wasn't writing about historical events. She was writing about what was happening in her life at the time and who was available. If she'd been writing today, she would have written about dot-com billionaires, she would have written about social media stars, and she would have written about politics. And that would have been all in her. And Ryan's no difference. It's just, it has to be entertainment, first and foremost. And then the rest of it is just gravy.
I've invited you all to my island.
Hi!
Because tonight, a murder will be committed. My murder.
Once you're dead, will we still be able to talk to you?
Yeah, I'm not playing dead the whole weekend, dude.
This is truly delightful.
Benoit Blanc is like the greatest detective in the world, and I think that it's because he connects with the case in an emotional way that can be dangerous, but it's also the key, to solve it, the case. So he cares about the people involved. And I realized that with this movie, because in the first one, he was sort of an antagonist, and now he's an ally. So I would like to know if that's correct for you, and how would you describe Benoit Blanc in this movie?
That's absolutely correct. I mean, for me, the secret of any good whodunit, but the secret for how I approach these movies is remembering that the detective is not the protagonist. There always has to be somebody who is the protagonist of the movie, who we're emotionally invested in and who we can be worried about. And I think a big part of what makes Benoit Blanc tick is not even the way he solves the crime, but the way that he emotionally connects with the protagonist. And you can see that he can see a good heart, and he can be on the side of that person. And I think that's what endears him to us. I think that's one essential trait of him. Even when he's dealing with the terrible people in the movie, he's always coming at them with an openness of spirit. He's not cynical, he's not judging. And I think that kind of childlike delight that he has in figuring these things out, that's a big part of what makes him tick.
Oh my God. What happened? Holy
Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a murder, and the killer is in plain sight.
In an interview, you said that being a good actor is about being a good listener and watcher. And that's what your character does in the movie. You know, she's behind everything, trying to figure it out, what's going on, revealing secret, listening and watching. And I think Andy is acting all the time. So how was your experience considering that you were playing an actor and like an unofficial actor in this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the characters have secrets. You know, this is a whodunit murder mystery. Like, the audience is going to go on a wild ride trying to figure out who the murderer is. And I think that being invited on that island in Greece, Miles Bryan, who's already a character, it's going to make for a wild ride. And I think my character, like all of them, is just, I don't know, trying to understand what the hell is going on too, you know, with themselves and with everybody around them, because there is history. There's a complicated relationship between my character and Miles Bryan's character, with all of them. Everybody has complicated relationships.
Everyone would stab a friend in the back to hold on to this rich bastard.
Deal with it.
And the film is built from puzzles within puzzles. You know, as I said, it's funny and full of surprises. And something great is that the audience, well, at least for me, I never felt the need to solve the mystery. You know, I was following the work of the detective. I was enjoying the ride, but I was never trying to solve it. So the experience for me was more emotional than, I don't know, cerebral, or I don't know what to say. So how was the process for you? I would like to know.
That's perfect. I mean, that to me, that sums up the approach. I even though I love whodunits, I feel like it's very important when you're constructing one to remember that you're still making a movie, and that it has to be a roller coaster ride, not a crossword puzzle. And I want the audience leaning forward as opposed to leaning back and trying to solve it. I think the experience you described, that's music to my ears, because that's exactly what we want, is the audience to be having so much fun they forget they're trying to be solving something. And so then it's a very pleasant surprise at the end when this mystery is revealed, and it's joyful as opposed to, oh, I didn't guess it wrong or something like that. So that makes me very, very happy that that's the way you experience the film. That's what I'm trying to do with each one of these.
No, exactly that. I think that we don't want, it's not a traditional whodunit. There isn't there is a denouement, but it's not in a traditional denouement. You're not going, the butler did it. It's like, oh, and it's like, that is part of Ryan's genius as a writer. But you can, what the movie is it's very generous. And, you know, I know people say this all the time, please watch our movie again. But it genuinely, if you do watch the film a second time, you will pick up on all of those little Easter eggs that he's left in there. And every single one pays off. He's been very, very, very careful so that you can go back and watch it with a bit more of a cerebral head and go, well, watch this and watch this and watch this. If you do, you'll get just as much joy out of it.
Oh my goodness, like, you know, I trust Rian so much. I mean, I was a big fan of the initial Knives Out installment and all the work he's done. I came in on his film Looper, was a big fan of that. And so I watched everything and I trust his taste. And as he was threading, he had a lot to manage and he just made it look so easy, which I know it took like lots of pre-production, precision. And even with my character, you know, I just had to like trust that they were gonna edit this. Like I knew what I needed to do for each scene. I had prepared, I'd done the work, I had to trust that. And to be able to watch it though, by myself in a theater, I was blown away, honestly. Like I really was. I didn't see Janelle Monáe. I didn't see myself. And usually I'm super critical, like, But when I watched it, I just saw the spirit and the essence of Andy. And I was just very proud of the work that I had done. I was very proud of the work that the entire cast had done. Everybody blew me away with their performances. And it was just like, wow, I got an opportunity to learn so much from each actor, to bond with them as human beings. We filmed this stuff in Greece, you know, which was like the best backdrop you could have asked for. Yeah, it's just a dream come true. All of it is just overwhelming in the best possible way.
Thank you very much for your time. It's a great movie. It's a great character, and you were amazing in this movie. So thank you very much.
You. Appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
All right, when's the murder mystery start?